All right, this is OneLastMidnight, and welcome back to another episode of Astroneer. And so today we're looking at navigation. So you're lost? Can't find your way home? Don't know where a gateway is? Well, maybe, just maybe, this video is for you. Okay, let's talk about navigation. How do you navigate a planet to be able to get back to your home base? Well, you see, I started this video at night because this star band right here actually runs on the equator from east to west. So if I was to jump out, you could see that I'm facing east. So east is that way, choo choo, and west is that way. Exact same the direction the star band is running. So we're looking at an east-west direction. So always keep this in mind when you're traveling around in Astroneer, that if you start very close to the star band and you're lost, just get on the star band and go around a circle. Now you might have to circumnavigate the entire planet to find your base again, but you will find your base. Other people have asked, what is the best way to navigate to the gateways? Well, you could use the star band. So most of the gateways on the planets reside on the equator. So it's going to reside on this star band. And the other ones are north and south. And, you know, you can kind of see off in the distance way over here. If I face that way, that is the north gateway. And the southern gateway is going to be over the horizon in this particular direction. So let's go travel to a gateway that is on the star band or on the equator. I'm just going to follow this star band until I run into a gateway. And that might take a minute or two. Now, every once in a while, get out and make sure you're traveling the correct direction. So I got a little bit off track. I had to go over a mountain or two. You know, I couldn't go over the tallest peak, so I had to go around. But make sure you get out, check your compass, and make sure you're continuing along the star band on an east and west direction. Eventually, what you're going to see, traveling around along the star band, you're going to come across the gateway that you can unlock. Oh, God. Or do you fall into a pit? You believe it almost took me 10 minutes to get out of that stinky cavern? At any rate, once you're able to navigate around your planet, you'll eventually get to a gateway. As you can see, this gateway is on the star band. If you look up, you can see that it's directly over the star band. And I should be facing east and west on the star band. And if I was to follow this around east and west, let's go west. Ugh, I should have picked east. Aside from having to go over some of the worst terrain in Astroneer, I had to go over this mountain to proceed west, but you can see it, I'm still on a westerly course, and right in the distance, you can see it very faintly, is the blue beacon for the gateway. You know, if you do have to traverse through trees and rocks to get from one gateway to another, it's always best to have an inhibitor with you, because the inhibitor does chop down trees. But you can see I can make quick work of a forest just by using the inhibitor mod to make it easier to drive and get from one place to another. Either that, or you could always use the drill to cut your way through any obstacle that you might find. Alright, so you can see how following the star band will help you find the gateways. You know, finding the north and south gateway from this point is pretty easy. You just go north or south until you find one of them and then continue on in that direction and you'll run across the second one. Navigating the planet to find your way home, once again, if you're close to the star band, you should easily be able to find your home. Now, it might feel like you're lost. And trust me, as a seasoned Astroneer, sometimes I feel lost on planets too. But as long as your base is close to the star band and you continue to follow it, you will run into your base. Might take you a while, you might have to go through some twists and turns, but eventually, there it is. You'll see the flags for your home base and your home. Again, it's always best to either be close to the star band or right on the star band when you start your base. That way it's easier to navigate, and this is true for any planet. Okay, so that was my video on navigation. I hope it helps you out. So even as a seasoned player, from time to time I get lost, and knowing that that star band is there, as long as I have my base somewhat close to it, I can find my way home. Granted, it might take a long time going over some of that terrain, but you'll eventually get there. If you haven't already, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. We have a great community here. And if you want to follow me on any of my social media, you can find it in the links in the description below. Also, I have a store. Finally, I have a store. So if you guys want to check that out, the link is in the description as well. I hope to see you guys again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.